everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we're talking about The Final Six by Alexandra. I'm going to say Monir? It's maybe?
Monir.
And so, I apologize if that was wrong. But this book, I got through, I want to say Edelweiss.
I got it through Edelweiss.
And this book takes place in the future when the world has basically slowly started to destroy itself, and there are tsunamis and earthquakes and people are dying all over the place and it's horrible. And so the government has decided that they are going to colonize Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter. But because of a kind of radioactivity on Europa, the only people that they can possibly send on this mission are teens, obviously. Yeah. And so they have collected 24 of the most brilliant teens around the world to pick the final 6 that will go on this mission. And our main characters are Leo, who is from Rome, whose family has been killed from a tsunami. What was the tidal wave?
Yeah, basically Rome is underwater now.
Yes, and Naomi, who is brilliant but who doesn't want to leave her family. And they're competing, and that's basically it. So Sarah thought I would hate this book. But
I really thought you would hate this book, especially because of the science, because you're like an astronomy nerd. Like, I really thought the science.
I enjoyed it, but like I even remember I enjoy like a really, I don't want to call the book cheesy, but like if you give me like a really cheap, like Sharknado, I'm there. So like I enjoy.
This is very Sharknado, like in the sci-fi world, sci-fi end of the world kind of books.
But I feel like the book is like really short, and like what's there, it's like decently well written, but it's just like you have to suspend like all of your like knowledge of how the world works, and just like get on the ride. And if you're willing to do that, it's actually really fun.
Okay, I am right exactly what I was thinking. Yes. Like, you really have to kind of suspend your belief with science, like everything like, science related.
Like, you can go live on Europa, sure.
But you're willing to do that, like, and you know, of course, only teens would, you know, and
because
of course,
of this bacteria that might be radioactive, you know, and
there may or may not be people living on
Europa. There might
already.
Be like, who knows?
But yeah, once you kind of get into the characters, you're like, okay, I like them.
It's just like a fun ride.
It is a fun ride. I can agree with that. So, but like the thing is, I do have to mention that. So we talked in one of our previous videos about how there are certain hot button issues where you're automatically like kind of in this space where you're not gonna like the book. Well, but for me, like if I ever read a book about the end of the world like going into disaster and we're like colonizing other places and then there's like a contest to see who's the smartest and all of that, like automatically I love that book. So it can be pretty terrible and I'll still like be on board.
See, sometimes with those I'm like, but then, like I said, I don't know what it was about. Like I didn't know if I would like this book either. And I actually read another book by this author and it wasn't one of my favorites, but like there was just something. It's very cinematic, and I'm like I really enjoy movies, and particularly like I enjoy science fiction space movies. And I actually read online that the author sold the rights to the book to Paramount. I can't remember. There's actually a note in the arc about it lists the studio. Yeah. Right after the title. Before the book was even written, she sold the rights to it. So I think that was part of it, because I think it's written to be very cinematic. And
see, but I just my wondering though is, are you going to read the next book? Because it left room.
There so has to be a sequel. I probably would.
I just don't know if I like where they left it off.
But there's a little bit of a soap opera going on now, and I love a soap opera. So you've got the science with the soap opera, and so I probably wouldn't get the arc and read it like 100 years in advance, but I would at some point in my future. I would like to know. I want to know if they live on Europa.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to wait to see what it's about. Because, like, it could go really bad, but then it could also go, like, really good.
But I want it to go bad. That's the thing. Because if it goes bad enough, then it comes back to good.
I don't know, maybe. But, like, I don't know if I'd be willing to try it if it's so bad.
So, that's what we should rate it. So,
okay.
We start at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
I think I'm just at a 3 unicorn.
See, I'm like at a 4. I totally like dug this book. I was like totally sucked in, and yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed the cheesiness and the romance and all of that.
It felt like I was reading a sci-fi movie. Like a sci-fi channel movie.
But if this was a show on the CW, I would watch it every week.
Okay.
So that is where we are on the final 6. Bye.
Bye.